Y'all know how I always tell y'all that I'm supportive. I support whatever you want to do. If you want to be a monkey in the zoo, I support you. I'm pro-choice. Do whatever it takes to make you happy. You're the only person who has to live your life. I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all about some supportive shit that I did one time at work. I was working in a state, and all you needed in this state to marry anybody was to be a notary. They did not require for you to be an ordained minister or a chaplain. A notary would suffice enough. For the most part, the chaplain that was assigned to that institution was the one who always officiated the wedding. However, if he was out, myself and the postal clerk, we were the only two other people that can step in and officiate a marriage. They called me on the radio and they asked me to give them a 21. I called them. I'm like, what's up? They say, look, we have a couple that's been up here since 9 a.m. waiting for the chaplain to come. The chaplain has not got here. We cannot get in touch with them. We called over to the mailroom and the postal clerk. They're busy. So basically, I was the next one up on the list to come and officiate this wedding. So I'm like, damn, all right, cool. I'm coming. Give me a minute. On the way back there, I'm walking with the sergeant that's over the canteen in the commissary. And basically, he is the person that receives all of the canteen from the outside vendors when they come in. He distributes it out to everybody on the compound and those that are in lockup as well. Now, Sarge is one of those older churchmen, you know, the ones that gossip a little bit, keep all the keys on the ring, know everybody's business. And you always need to keep at least one of those on your team when you're working in this profession. Not only do you want to keep him around because he's the eyes and the ears of the institution, but you also want to keep him around because he has all the canteen, and canteen can be used to bargain many things inside of an institution. So as we're going, he's cracking jokes and he's asking me, you know, are you ready to officiate this couple? And I thought about it. I don't know what to say. Like, am I supposed to read a scripture out of the Bible? Out of the Bible? Because if so, I'm gonna need for you to go to your office and go get a Bible and tell me what scripture I'm supposed to read. And he was just like, how I'm supposed to know? I don't officiate weddings. Shit, you the one that go to church every Sunday. Like, come on, Sarge, help me out. Now I'm scrambling in my mind like, girl, come on. You got to figure out what you're going to say. And the only thing that I could think of to say is, meet me at the altar in your white dress. Like, that's the only thing that came to mind to say. But I'm like, well, you know, maybe they have their own vows, but still, I know it's some other stuff I'm supposed to be saying. I just can't think of it. When I get to the room, because they had them in a visitation room, the only people that's there is the officer that's watching them, the two inmates that are runarounds that's like cleaning up and, you know, getting things ready for them, the inmate and his soon-to-be wife. And I mean, she has on, I ain't gonna lie, shorty dress was bad. Her dress was real bad, right? And, you know, he had on the regular Department of Corrections tan uniform. She had a sweater that she brought with her that she wanted her soon-to-be husband to put on, but the officer that was there watching them didn't know whether or not that was authorized. And, you know, I feel like I said, I support you in whatever you want to do. As long as the sweater doesn't have any contraband in it, go ahead and give it to him so he can put it on. You know, after all, it's his big day. I was familiar with this inmate. There had been a situation in the past that had to be resolved. He was a very respectful inmate. He wasn't one of the inmates that had like 50 different females coming to see him during visitation. This was actually only the second female that I have ever known to come and visit him for visitation. And I also was familiar with his soon-to-be wife because, again, there was an issue with him that I had to resolve in the past, and I had spoke to her when she came for visitation before. So I started making small talk because I need to buy me some time to figure out exactly what it is that I'm going to say to officiate this wedding. So I'm asking them, you know, where's your family? Where's your friends? Did nobody come today? And she said, well, you know, my best friend was supposed to come. She was supposed to be my matron of honor, but, you know, she didn't show up because she doesn't support it. And he didn't have anybody from his side, you know, that was able to travel and make it here. So I was just like, oh, dang. So she was already, you know, so disappointed that her best friend, you know, stood her up and didn't come at the last minute. So she was disappointed about that. She was nervous about getting married. And she was like, nobody supports this. And I'm like, I support it. I support it. That's why I'm here. One thing about me, I don't care what the occasion is. If it's your big day, I feel that you should be able to enjoy your big day. And even though it's a prison ceremony, I'm going to do everything that I can, you know, to make this moment special for them, because she's already having a hard time, you know, with nobody there for her. She don't have any support. I know how important support can be. So I go to Sarge, you know, Sarge got all the canteen, and I'm like, yo, I need some, you know, some icy whites, XYZ, yada, yada, yada. I get the runarounds, and I'm like, look, I need for y'all to make them a little setup, a little wedding cake or whatever, just something celebratory. And I'll hook y'all up later. I'll give y'all some canteen later. So Sarge give them the canteen. They go ahead and they, get the little setup made for them. So I tell the other officer that's there, I said, go get me the camera guy that normally takes pictures during visitation. I'm going to make sure they get some pictures as well. It's showtime. You know what I'm saying? Dun, 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 dun. You got, Reverend Hernandez over here ready to officiate this wedding. But Black God stepped in right on time. Won't he do it? He stepped in right on time. So the inmate that's the cameraman, he comes in there and he says, I just saw the chaplain by the control room. So I'm just like, whoo. Because I did not want to have to say the whole meet me at the altar in your white dress. Like I was going to be winging it, okay? So the chaplain gets down there and he was just like, oh, you got everything ready? We're ready to roll. And I'm like, yeah, we're ready to roll. We've been waiting on you. So the soon-to-be bride, she's looking a little sad. And I'm like, it's okay. It's all right to be nervous. I've never been married before, but I'm assuming that it's okay to be nervous, on your day. And she was just like, I just really wish that I had my BFF here, but she flaked on me. And I'm just really kind of, troubled by that. And I was like, girl, I'll be your maid of honor, girl. And she was like, you will? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'll be your maid of honor. I ain't got no dress or nothing. You're going to have to take me in this uniform, but I'll be your maid of honor. Y'all tell me why I dead ass stood as her maid of honor during the ceremony. I even took a picture with them like I was right. They were so grateful. Both of them were so grateful. She said, I can't believe that you actually stood in and was my maid of honor today. And, you got this cake made for us. Like you just really saved the day. I don't know whether or not they're still together because that inmate was released less than 6 months later. So hopefully they're still together and it's not one of the regular, prison love stories where he come home and, do the absolute most. But yeah, that was my first time and my last time ever being a maid of honor at an inmate's wedding.